Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Friday with, yes, me, Dannphan. I don't know if you can really tell, but I did a little bit of reworking with my station here, with my background. I kind of switched around this portion in particular so that I wouldn't be knocking into the laptop and shaking it all the time, but I also lifted up the microphone so that it's more directly catching my voice. Maybe that'll help a little bit with the audio. Not 100% sure. For the record, a lot of people were telling me that my audio had gotten worse after I moved and started recording in this new section, this new Dannphan dungeon. Uh, I didn't change the mic. It's the same exact mic, as far as I know, same exact settings. And I think the actual problem might just be either the fact that it was much lower to the ground and maybe not catching my voice very well, very directly, or it could just be the acoustics of the room itself. I know a lot of people have also mentioned these wood panelings. Yeah, wood panelings. They're very old, very 80s, and some of them are a little bit loose. So some of them shake, and I imagine that also affects the sound when the sound is reverberating off of them. And it could be, I'm not a sound expert, but it could be rattling the audio a little bit and making it seem less high quality. I don't know. As far as the camera goes, I do have a new camera that is supposedly coming in the mail. But I'm thinking that it's not coming. I got like this camera that's supposed to be really good from Logitech. Tragically, though, it's been reading, as far as shipping status goes, it's been reading label created for like 3 weeks now. I haven't been able to get in contact with customer service. I can't cancel the order and get it somewhere else. And I can't refund it without sending back the camera that isn't here. So I've been having some issues. They got back to me on Twitter, of all places. And so I sent them a DM there to see if we could figure out what's going on. Once I wrote to them, though, they didn't get back to me like they publicly said that they would. So who knows at this point? I might have just thrown some money down a hole. It's kind of just my luck, isn't it? I should have gone to a store. I should have gone to a micro center somewhere and just bought the camera from the store instead. If it's from China, it will take a while. Oh, no. There's absolutely no excuse. They have a place in the States where they manufacture the cameras, or at the very least where they store cameras that have been manufactured. You know how it is when there's an international company, they want to place like stations in the other countries where they're going to be shipping out the merchandise. They have them here. All they had to do was pack it and ship it. They have the label. They have my order. I mean, really, I don't know what excuse they could possibly have for not shipping it by now. But if they're going to try to ship it like during the Christmas season, it'll be more complicated, which is why I ordered it, beforehand in November. What are you gonna do? Yeah. There is a money goal poster in the wall. This is actually from a while ago. People were mentioning, like, oh, whatever happened to that graph that you had that you used to point to? That was my favorite new characters. Look at graph. So I brought back the graph. It's my be my escape goal over here. Unfortunately, because of everything that's been happening to me lately, I can't add any line to it without being a little lie, because I've been certainly spending a lot more money than I've been making it, just because of all the crazy shit going on. I had to buy a whole new laptop. bought a webcam that didn't come anywhere. Hey, I might not have to pay for that hard drive recovery. You know why? Because it looks like all the files are corrupted. Or, well, he said most of the files. He wanted to keep on trying to get the files off for like another week or so. Maybe, perhaps, there will be a Christmas miracle. Who knows? If you all say a prayer for me, let's see if we can get a Christmas miracle going on. That would make me very happy. What is the goal? Just to get me out. Just to be my escape, as I've said. No, I want to make enough money to live on my own, is basically the thing. That's it. A lot of people, or at least to move to somewhere where I can get a better job, Right now, I don't like the area that I'm in. Even before that, I was kind of like not in love with the area. I liked it a little bit more than here. I'll say that much. But obviously, I didn't really have much choice in the matter. I kind of had to come here. But yeah, so that I can go to a better place. Like heaven, perhaps. Yes, when I hit the goal, I'll just... Yeah. Oh, who knows? Maybe if there is a Christmas miracle, I'll get those files back. But at this point, I'm kind of just trying to accept the fact that it doesn't look like that's actually what's going to happen. It looks like I'm kind of screwed. It's a lot of work that I would have to redo. That's the real bummer. It's the fact that I don't want to redo the work. I spent so long just trying to make it perfect. And now I gotta do it all over again. It's like, oh geez, I don't know if I can make it perfect this time. But I won't worry about it for now. Right now, I'm just gonna focus solely on finishing up the next comic, which is It's Not Like Getting a Job Will Kill You. That's going to be released on the website on New Year's Day, January 1st. Woo! Day before my mother's birthday. Fun fact. But yeah, that'll be something. I'm kind of teeter-tottering on whether or not I should print that comic, because it's a 32-page story. I might add a mini comic at the end, but for overall, it's 32 pages. It serves as a one-shot, but it's open-ended, so I could add more story if I wanted to in the future. I could make an issue 2. I'm not in love with floppies, though, and it would kind of fall into the category of a floppy comic, because it's relatively short. I can't really justify making it into a perfect bound graphic novel if it's only 32 pages. So I'm not sure if I want to print it, but I also feel like maybe some people would like to buy it if they had the choice to own it in physical. I've had a bunch of different people read it, and overall it's a pretty likable comic. It hits a large range of people, and it's a comedy, and naturally people just like to laugh, So, kind of going back and forth on that. Maybe I should leave it to a vote, but I have no doubt that even if people aren't going to buy the comic, they would just vote, oh yeah, print it. And it's like, well, if you're not going to get it, I don't want to print it. That's the point. But whatever. Thanks for all the thoughts and prayers, guys. Thank you. It's been a rough end of the year here. I should have brought some water with me. I'm a dumb. I just noticed I have nothing to drink, and I'm going to be on this live stream for an hour. Jeez. I am a dumb. But, yeah. So there's some struggle happening, but I think it'll be okay. if I have to redo everything, it'll be annoying. It'll really mess with my timeline that I had cooking. I had a sick timeline cooking, you know? Because I was like, oh, I'm going to be so prepared. I'm working so ahead of time with all these comics. I'm going to be so prepared getting them out like bam, bam, bam. They're going to be so released so close to each other. And, well, like, you know, not close enough for them to interfere with each other, but, you know, close so that something is always coming out on the website to be excited for. And that's really what I need, right? Because I gotta really put a name on this website, make it recognizable, the place to go to get like a bunch of new and exciting comics. But now it's like 10 steps forward and 9 steps back. Now all I have are the drafts for the comics, because those I had online. Because I was sharing drafts to get like some opinions, of course, naturally. You gotta get opinions on your comics, especially if you don't have an editor. Opinions are basically your editors at that point. For a lot of my future comics, I think I'll probably be incorporating like Adam to be my editor to help with the quality. But you know, print on demand is the way to go. I don't want to sign up for Amazon though; they're kind of scuzzy. You have time to get a beer. I mean, water. Yeah, of course. Oh, thank you. He says, might be worth printing. The art you've shared for it looks like it'll be a fun read. I think it's a fun read. I think it's fun. It's very lighthearted and, you know, feel-good stuff. It's the type of stuff that I like reading. So it's the type of stuff that I wanted to put out there for other people who also need that in their life. But yeah. At least I do have the drafts for the other comics I was working on. I can say that. At the very least, I have the drafts. I would have to redo all of the inking work, which is probably the most time consuming, but at least I've got the basic art, the sketches of everything that's supposed to be there. When are we going to see you on Twitch? Never. Not a Twitch fan, unfortunately. Sorry. But yeah. Sorry there were no videos this week, by the way. It was just kind of that one clip. I was thinking maybe 2 videos a week, but now I'm thinking, maybe I should hold off on making any new videos until I get the new camera and have a more secure looking setup and have everything looking nice, you know? I have some videos that I've already recorded before, you know, before this stream. I had like a couple videos that I already had recorded, and I could probably just release one of those each week plus do the streams. And maybe by the time I've gotten through all those other recorded videos, maybe then my camera will arrive. I don't know for sure. But I did a poll in the community post, and it seems like people are all in for me getting like some better lighting and a new camera and an overall better setup. So that could be the way to go. That could up my game as far as videos. But it's going to be a while before they actually send the camera. If they ever send it, I'm honestly not completely convinced that they'll ever send it. I'll probably just have to go to a store and get one in store. Visual quality is not that important if the content is good. You know, I've heard that. And yet, I definitely know people who would not watch a video if it was potato can. Funny enough, I feel like In some cases, the quality of my videos have gotten, the visual quality of them have gotten worse, just because of the different places that I've moved to. Like the first house that I was in had great lighting in that room. Always great light. It looked fantastic. And then the second house I went to, I was in the basement. Significantly worse lighting. I had to edit it every single time when I edited a video. I had to boost up the lighting by 1,000,000 just so I didn't look like a gremlin in a cave. But people were overall like, it's fine. And now this setup here, the lighting is probably equally as bad, but now people are complaining about the sound because I guess the acoustics aren't very good in this section of the house, which is a much more difficult problem than the lighting, I think. So yeah, maybe I could put up some foam or something that could either suppress the sound from bouncing back and rattling, or something that could, I don't even know. I'm not a sound person. I gotta see if I can find a sound guy and get his opinion on this section of the room. It's certainly not one made for recording, but what room is? Unless I'm building my own house, I don't think I can get the perfect recording space. Looks good now? Well, thank you. I guess it looks okay. We're still at 720. The camera that I got was finally at 1080, but of course it's never coming. That camera grew wings and it flew away into the clouds. Never get that back. If it's not one problem, it's another. Ain't that the truth? That is definitely my life summarized. My dad, he's kind of a complainer. Yeah, he's definitely a pessimist, and his catchphrase is "It's always something." Every time something bad happens, he's just like, it's always something. Every single time. Yep, it's always something. I get that. I get that feeling from. I've inherited that from my dad. It's just like, oh yeah, makes sense. Of course, it is always something, isn't it? I am digging the back wall. Pretty good old school charm there. Maybe. It's not your typical backdrop as far as, the wood paneling goes, but some people look at that and they're like, oh man, that's so nostalgic. I remember the 80s. So I guess maybe it does have some charm there. Maybe you're onto something. More graphs. Yeah, that's what we need. We need more graphs. Look at graph. Foam, those diffused light sheets, fuzzy mic, neon lights. Yeah, I was thinking about getting like LED strips behind me. Maybe helps light up the place. Because right now I've got this lamp here that's kind of lighting me up. And I have you can't see it, but this room is split up into 2 sections, and then it has like a little walkway here. There's a light all the way on the other side of the room that's like kind of shining towards this direction. Believe it or not, it does help. It looks better with both lights on as opposed to just one light. But this one is just kind of like shining down on me for the most part, and shining a little bit up at the wall to help get some reflective light. But it's not really doing its job of lighting up the whole space. I don't want to light any candles either, because it's kind of, a lot of stuff that can burn that I'm surrounded by, especially the books. But maybe just some LED strip lights in the background. Make it look like a gaming setup, right? And the camera that I might be getting, who knows at this point, but that camera is supposed to be good at filming with darker light. So, like a lot of cameras, when the light is darker, it has trouble picking up images, and so it will pixelate. So, like the darker it is in a room, the more pixelaty it gets. But maybe if I get that camera and if I get some LED strips, we can kind of help balance that out so that it's not pixelaty. But you finally managed to catch my stream. Welcome. Thank you. My recent drawing. Oh, you mean the comic panel? I'm not sure. I did a couple different drawings. I did like a Mario Christmas. Actually, I did 2 Mario Christmas pieces because I'm a little bit excited about the Mario movie. But I've also been sharing art from my latest comic that'll come out New Year's Day. That'll be fun. I'm excited for it. Very excited. And around the same time, my boyfriend is finishing up his new book, which will be a fantasy novel. And he's very excited about that as well. It'll be nice, both of us releasing our new books together. Once again, not sure if I'm going to be printing it, kind of up in the air at this point. Maybe I need a very specific poll where I'm like, if I print this book, will you buy it? Like, very specifically, will you buy it? At least then I'll know how much to print, It's pricey. No matter what you print, it's going to be pricey. Ring lights are best for portraits. Maybe. I mean, I have lights that are supposed to be for pictures, and I used it at one point when I was making videos in the old house, but right now, because I moved, they're all boxed up. I haven't been using them for a while, though, even before that, because they're kind of annoying to have shining on you for a while. And in some cases, they make my vision blotchy, which is not a good sign. But background lights would definitely help with visibility. Yeah, I think so. Anyways. I think some of the wall could use some covering up too. I think the more stuff I put on the wall, the more decorated and nice it'll look. Obviously, I have these shelves that have stuff on them, but there's always room for more. Since I have all these original art pieces from Alex Lopez, I was thinking maybe I should put up one or two of those original art pieces on the wall behind me. That might be nice, yeah. I gotta pick one though. I gotta it's a whole project to pick the perfect space for it and everything, and make sure there's a way to hang it without destroying the wall or destroying the art piece. Especially if it's an original art piece, you don't want to destroy that because there is no second one. You know how it is. No, this is my first time watching your streams. Well, welcome aboard. I hope I'm not boring you. During these Fridays with Dannphan stream, it's kind of just like whatever we want to talk about. Obviously, I make updates on my life so people know what's going on, why I'm not uploading, or why haven't I gotten a new camera yet. They always ask about the camera. But yeah, for the most part, speaking with chat and talking about whatever chat wants to talk about, while also just giving some updates. It can be fun. I always like directly communicating with the people who watch my videos. So I know what the heck you people want from me. Let me see. I prefer physical, so I'd buy one for sure. Well, that's good. That's good. Is that a Pip-Boy? Yes, it is. Yeah. Me and my boyfriend are both like Fallout 3 fans, so I've only ever played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 myself. I haven't finished Fallout 4, naturally. I know that a lot of people really hate it. But Adam has played a lot more Fallout games than I have. He's played like Fallout 2 and 1, I think. And I would think that most people started at Fallout 3 since it was like the real open world experience, that a lot of people are familiar with Oblivion and then the Elder Scrolls games in general. I really liked it though. Yeah. New Vegas is great. Yeah. I've heard that New Vegas is kind of like, it feels like a DLC to Fallout 3 just because it's using a lot of the same assets. But I heard it's good. Yeah, I should check out New Vegas for sure. What's in the news with animation, comics, manga, and movies? Good question. I did hear one news. Obviously, we have Mario movie news. They're releasing trailers and trailers, and people are getting pumped for that movie. They really can't, Universal. They really can't afford to mess that movie up, which is why I'm leaning on the side of it'll be good rather than it'll be bad. Because if they do mess it up, that's like such a big hit on the company, especially since it's releasing around the same time as Super Nintendo World in the parks. So you can't fuck that movie up. That's not going to be good for you if you can't keep the franchise alive. Oof. But yeah, I think it'll do good. Apparently, apparently there's an update on whether or not Alita Battle Angel will finally have a sequel. I didn't really look into it that much because I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't believe you. I don't do that. Don't give me hope. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's ever coming. But yes, let me see. Speaking with Deadline at the premiere of Avatar: The Way of the Water, just asked if you were working on other films. He responded, well, there's a little film called Alita Battle Angel that we'd love to circle back and do a sequel to. We've been talking to Robert Rodriguez about that, and hopefully that comes into fruition. You know what I mean. I can't speak. Why are you looking at me like I can speak? I'm not human. But yeah, don't want to put a time frame on it. I would love an Alita sequel. I really enjoyed the first movie, and I think they did a good job adapting what was in the manga without well, they did a good job adapting it, but they also did a good job on leading into what could be a sequel. And I feel like it's gonna be, if they do continue it into maybe a series or a trilogy, it's gonna be different for sure than what the manga gave us. But I'm open to that because there's a lot of critiques that I have about the Alita manga, albeit I do love it, but it could be improved on. Quite frankly. Let's see what else there is. The CW was never profitable, according to a report. Yeah, that's believable. I mean, really, how much views could they possibly have been getting on the CW? I think all their views basically just came from reruns of Family Feud, and that was it. That's my prediction. Alita will be great? Maybe. I would like to see a sequel. As far as Avatar: The Way of the Water goes, not interested at all. Just flat out no interest. It looks weird. It just, something about the way that they're choosing to continue that story, it's just weird. In a way, I feel like the first movie kind of led itself to not being very open to being continued in the first place. It just felt like a real end to the story. Like, okay, nowhere else to go. We're done. But I don't know. Much more interested in Alita 2 than in Avatar 2. Just my own opinion. Alita was the best. I do enjoy Alita, yeah. It was pretty good. When making movies and shows off of manga and comics, key is to make a movie flavored by the sauce. There are elseworlds be default, so use it to the advantage. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I can't speak. Why are you looking at me like I can speak? I can't speak. You ever thought about becoming a virtual streamer and making comics around that virtual streamer? I don't even know how the virtual thing works, to be honest. I assume that it's just kind of a file that you can open up and press keys to get it to make expressions and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how any of that stuff works. But no, I've never considered it. I think people like actually seeing my face. I think they, for the most part, like the human-to-human connection. Although, granted, there are some instances where I wish I hadn't shown my face, but it's fine. Yeah, never watched Alita, saw I've turned 3D, haven't had the urge to watch it again. Fair point. Fair point. All right. It's a very nice face. Thank you. Yeah. I think it has a face tracking app. That's interesting. So, like, it's tracking the expressions that you're making? Is that the idea? I don't know. I have pretty good expressions on my own. It'll be able to track it very easily at that case. There you go. But yeah, I thought it was just like, I thought it like maybe tracked your lips or just heard the audio and made the lips move to the audio. And then as far as the expressions go, I thought you like had to press something. Like, you know how they have a soundboard? I thought it was one of those things where you're pressing buttons to like get it to make the faces. Well, what other news is there? There's a new Transformers movie. But to be quite honest, I've never really been 100% interested in Transformers. I've kind of just been a vague watcher of that type of stuff. And I haven't been watching any of the new movies. So I'm really not the person who should be covering anything Transformers. It's vaguely interesting because they're bringing back the Beast version of the Transformers from Beast Wars, which is something that I've mentioned in another video, that show. But it's a good way to make money. I'm sure that people will be very, very interested in them bringing back those characters. What else is new? Jennifer Lawrence apparently claims that Hollywood never put women in the lead of action films before the Hunger Games. There's no way she actually believes that, though. That's definitely something that she says so that people talk about how dumb she is. But so long as people are talking about you, you're relevant. And I think that's kind of a good summary of anything she says that's crazy. It's just like her way of trying to stay relevant. She knows how the game works. It's hard to really get any Hollywood actor, celebrities' real opinions. Because most of the time they just say whatever they need to say to get people talking about them or to get people applauding. But you never know if it's actually how they feel. You know? Well, what else is going on? VTuber avatars use quite a few things. The best ones use the infrared camera on iPhones to motion capture and directly translate that to the CGI model. That is interesting, although I'm not sure how much I'm super into that, Jennifer Lawrence already clarified that she didn't mean it. There you go. Yeah, I kind of figured that. So Dan, how about those Game Awards stuff? The Mario, the Bill Clinton, the Muppet. I didn't watch the Game Awards. I don't know what you're referring to as the Bill Clinton. They wouldn't have invited Bill Clinton on. That would be crazy. I assume that it was a lookalike or someone playing Bill Clinton. I didn't watch the Game Awards. I know that Elden Ring won Game of the Year because it's It's fucking Elden Ring. It's great. It is like genuinely a very good open world game. I think it's very very good. And the Mario trailer, the fucking cool as shit. I'm super into this Mario movie that's coming out. The Muppet, once again, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. I'm just kind of in that habit of not watching any award shows because, if I can just hear about who won afterwards, then I might as well not watch it and do something else with my time, and then just hear on Twitter or hear somewhere else where who won and what happened. I can just get the highlights, Elden Doge. Yeah, there you go. Can you explain the chart in the bottom corner in the back? That is my my escape chart. I had that before I got here and people were asking where it went, so I put it back up again, but really there's kind of no reason to have it up. It's just one of those things where I was like, I want to set a personal goal for myself when it comes to making money creatively, like off of my online content, be it YouTube or, more importantly, my comics. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's a little bit less relevant now. They snubbed Sonic Frontiers. At the very least, me playing this, and I haven't gotten very far in the game, but me playing Sonic Frontiers, I can tell you straight away that game should have definitely at least won Best Music or Best Soundtrack, because the music in Sonic Frontiers is fucking dope. It's so good. It's so fucking good. I start up the boss fight and immediately, like, there's some emo music in the background, like, yeah, I will never give in. And it's like, yo. That is genuinely pumping me up to fight this guy. This is perfect. But yeah, it's just like, I know Sonic games are always known for having good music, but this soundtrack was really good. At the very least, you gotta give Sonic Frontiers the best soundtrack. Like, who else had a good soundtrack? I don't know. I don't know. They only gave us the Player's Choice Award. Yeah, I guess there's that. There's that. Looks like a couple people are talking about, like, didn't going too light. Yeah, right. It's all good stuff. It's fucking good, man. What are you talking about? A kid interrupting the event? Yeah. Bill Clinton wasn't there. Some random kid snuck up on the stage and randomly nominated Clinton for something. Oh, is that what happened? Okay. That makes a little bit more sense because I saw a screenshot of the kid on the stage. That's so weird. But okay. Great security as usual. I guess it's just genuinely easy to get up on stage during these like award shows, huh? Like, first you got Will Smith smacking the host, and now you get some kid who's like, Bill Clinton. Yeah, okay. Also, the Muppet cameo was Animal, who kept yelling Kojima. Why? Okay. Apparently, Sonic Frontiers is a Sonic album with a game attached to it. A little bit. I'd buy it. I'd buy the album. Where's the CD? Sonic Frontiers. You got to sell the CD. I'm going to listen to that in the car every day. It was fucking sick, man. No, but the game genuinely has a lot of fun mechanics in there. I will say the one critique that I can give it, where I'm at in the game, I'm not done the game, of course, but where I'm at in the game, it seems too easy. The game is just too easy. Obviously, you know, it's made for kids. It's going to have an easy mode, and the easy mode is going to be really easy. But I'm playing on hard mode, and it's still just kind of too easy. It just doesn't feel like you have to try that hard. And maybe that's fine in some sections if you just want to have some, you know, some lighthearted, light effort sessions to be relaxed. But at least when you get into like the boss fights or the mini bosses, it should be difficult. And I don't mean difficult as in more health to the boss. And I don't mean difficult as in glitches that make it harder because the boss is like smacking you while your camera is fixed in one direction. No. I mean, it requires actual skill to beat. That's all I mean. But yeah, I haven't finished it, of course, but it is great. Psycho Mob OSTs are fire. Yes, Mob Psycho 100 openings are so good. I keep hearing about Mob Psycho. Is it really good? I like it. I'll say that much. It didn't end the way that I wanted it to end. To an extent, I think that the ending of Mob Psycho is a bit abrupt. I'll say that. And I feel like it maybe should have gone on a little further. Maybe. I would have been down for it, going a little further at least. But it is very good. The anime especially is like super well animated, great music. The fight scenes will make you shit yourself. It's very good, yes. Okay. The ending was hilarious. To Mob Psycho? I don't know. I don't know if I would qualify hilarious. Maybe some people could view it that way. I don't know if the anime itself has ended yet, but I read the ending of the manga before the anime was out, or well, was finished. The last season of the anime came out this year, and I don't know if they got to the final episode yet, but they might have. It's been a while since I heard it was out. Isn't there going to be another season to Mob Psycho? I'd like there to be more seasons. Maybe they announced like one of those spin-off episodes. What do they call those? I forget what they're called now. It's one of those brain malfunctions. But you know what I mean. It's like a standalone episode. Maybe they announced that. But I know that the manga is done. And season 3 should theoretically end where the manga ended, from what I heard. Because like I said, the ending is fairly abrupt. There's like not a lot of build up to the ending. It's just like all of a sudden, oh, that's the end. Gotcha. Cool. Any thoughts on Chainsaw Man? I've been hearing a lot of mixed things about it. Are you referring to Chainsaw Man, the manga series, or Chainsaw Man, the anime series? Because I read part 1 of Chainsaw Man before the anime came out. And back when there was a lot of hype on that, just being in the manga and having the anime announced for it. The anime is very well animated, and they're doing a lot with the material that they've been given. In some cases, there's some critiques on the anime that's not like rough enough to fit the style of Chainsaw Man because it's very edgy. It's a very edgy story. And yeah, as far as the manga series goes, part 2 is recently being released. And I've been liking part 2 so far. I might even say that I've been liking part 2 of Chainsaw Man more than part 1. Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. I think that it's that's very interesting what they've set up with part 2. But there's a new anime coming out for Chainsaw Man. Well, the anime is already out, as far as I know. Did they stop it? Are we already like done season 1 of Chainsaw Man? Both manga and anime? Yeah, yeah. So the story is very dark, and it ends in kind of a bitter note. But it's one of those endings where like it ends kind of bitterly, but you have hope for the future if the series keeps going. And then in part 2, the series keeps going, and I've been liking part 2 more. Even though it's kind of like equally as dark, it's yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of potential for part 2. I think they set up I can't spoil it, but they set up something that could be intriguing story-wise. At the same time, it could be worse. It could be just a repeat of what happened in part 1, or it could be something really different and cool. Yeah, it's real surprising that a manga called Chainsaw Man is edgy, of course. But you know what I mean. It's not a story that you read if you want to feel good about life. It's the type of story that you read when you're like, oh man, that was pretty dark. It was sick though. It's one of those. But yeah. What's been your favorite anime of this year? Oh, good question. There's so many good anime that came out this year. Honestly, it's like fucking weird how many good anime came out this year. I'm probably a big fan of Spy Family. Honestly, that's a tricky one. Spy Family is a contender, but obviously there's Mob Psycho season 3, because Mob Psycho is probably one of my favorites of all time. And I'd feel like an idiot if I didn't just put Chainsaw Man up there, right? Oh man, and then you have Love After World Domination. I loved that manga, and then I got an adaptation. I was like, oh fuck yeah. There's a lot of good shit that came out this year. I hope that, yeah, this was a loaded year for sure. I hope that good stuff keeps on coming out. That's all I can really say. I really liked Edge Runners. That's another one that I've been told is pretty dark. I don't know if it's on the same level of Chainsaw Man, but I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to check it out, but just didn't get around to it. I also didn't know what would be a good time in my life to start checking out something, darker and edgier, because, like I mentioned before, I'm going through some shit right now. I don't want to go on a depression spiral anytime soon. But, you know how it is. People also have like weird, how would I say it? People have their own personal thresholds as to what they consider dark or like messed up. Like sometimes people say, oh, don't watch this, it's totally messed up, it'll traumatize you. And then I watch it and I'm like, that's not that bad. What are you talking about? That's like very tame. And then there's these other shows that people are like, oh, it's fine, it's dark, but and I watch it and it's like fucking rape scenes everywhere. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is what I would classify as traumatizing. But everyone has their own threshold, so it's really hard to gauge where the people recommending it, where they lie on how much dark is too much dark and how much dark is too much dark for me, but yeah, remember when people were claiming Adventure Time and Gravity Falls was dark? Yeah, really. It's like one of those things. Exactly. Exactly. You get it. It's like, man, that's not that bad. Every single time it pops up on like YouTube recommendations, where they're like, oh, top 10 most traumatizing, whatever from your childhood, most traumatizing scenes, and then they throw up like these scenes that absolutely did not scare you at all when you were a kid, and you're just looking at it like, I don't know, I guess that was a little bit spooky, but like, come on. To some extent, I get it. It's like the Pinocchio fucking donkey transformation scene. It was scary, but it didn't traumatize me. That's a little bit, this is a little bit too far saying that it traumatized me. And then, what else do people claim is traumatizing? You know what I'm surprised people don't claim is like a scary scene? You remember that scene from The Incredibles with the missiles coming after them in the plane? That was scary. That really can get your heart pumping in that scene. I don't know if it's just like the warning beeping over and over again, the zoom in on like the mother's face as she's scared she's about to die with her children, but that scene is very intense. I'll say that much. Okay. That one might have traumatized me a little bit. You might got me there. But I don't ever see that scene on people's top 10 lists, surprisingly enough. It all goes back to what I was saying before about people having their own threshold of what they consider dark or traumatizing, you know? Return the Slab. Yeah, I get why people found that scary, but I did find that episode to be very funny. The Return the Slab episode from Courage the Cowardly Dog. That was pretty funny. Because you got this mummy outside like, return the slab. And then Eustace is like, shut up. Fucking shuts the door. He's just like not having it at all. They're like, man, these fucking supernaturals. I love this rock. Yeah, it depends on your mindset. That's true. The events of Edge Runners fit the world it takes place in. It's a rough and dangerous world. So go in expecting that and you'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, the cyberpunk universe in general is just kind of, I mean, it's always been dark, even in the role-playing game. I do feel like, based on what I've heard, Cyberpunk 2077 kind of took that darkness and amplified it a bit with like a lot of dark missions. Probably more than what the original writers kind of intended for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's whatever. Like apparently there's one. Yeah, I guess it's not really traumatizing if I just summarize it. Apparently there's this one mission in Cyberpunk 2077 where you have to stop these people who are like trafficking memories of torturing and sexually abusing children. They're like selling those memories because I guess people really like hurting kids. And it's like, really? Okay. All right. I guess if the idea is technology is making you go insane, I guess anything goes when it comes to the mental state of people. All right. That's that's a lot of, there must be a pretty big market for that. If you're making this much money doing it, just selling that one particular thing. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Dark time to tune in. My bad. I didn't mean it. Whatever. Yeah, 2077 was dark at times, yeah. Like I said before, it's probably a little bit darker than the original writers, even them, intended for it to be. But, you know. It's also part of the reason why I avoided playing 2077. I was like really into it at first, and then after Adam played it, and he was like, "No, don't play this." He looked at me and was like, "No, no, 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 you don't understand. This will definitely like bring your mood down." Because not only do you don't have to go on every single mission, right? But every now and then they'll pop up these super dark missions, and there's nothing you can really do to avoid even hearing about them because it wouldn't let you turn off the notifications for getting the side missions. So you'll just be like walking around the city, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, all these kids being abused, and then the memories sold. And it's like, oh, jeez. Go a little bit too far into the details, and it's like, oh, come on, man. Can I not have a peaceful walk in the city? God, stop. But whatever. Yeah, I guess those people like child torture porn. Yeah, I guess so. Well, anyway, can we talk about something happy before I sign off? We have 4 minutes until this stream is supposed to be done. So let's move it back a little bit. Let's talk about something nice. What is something nice happening? Oh no. I'm not good at finding nice things. Mario movie is nice. I think Mario movie will be good. I hope Mario movie will be good. My comic is coming out New Year's Day. I'm going to work very, very hard to not only make sure that it is done, but it is amazing. And I think you guys will really enjoy it when it comes out. Yeah. I'm just like looking at my feed to see if I can find anything else that's nice to talk about. I've been getting a lot of interesting things on my feed. I have like the relaxation background music for when I'm like working. I just like slap that on. But also I've been somewhat tied into watching these videos online of the dog shows, like the dogs competing on the obstacle courses. Because I mean, I like dogs. And it's also, there's some competition in there. As they'll go together, and it's like, there's dogs competing. It's cool. But anyway, now I have a bunch of those recommended on this timeline. So that's how we got here. Yeah, not much else. Got the relaxation music and then dogs competing. Thanks, Trent, for the donation. For the graph. Can't wait to read your new comic. I can't wait to have you read the new comic. It's going to be so nice. Thank you. Brian Tyler seems to be pretty darn good, even though we're certain most of it comes from Nintendo keeping Illumination on a tight leash. Maybe. I mean, I would hope, personally, that the people working on the movie would be equally as passionate as the fans. I would be hoping that they were hiring like fans of the content to be making the movie, because I think that's how you get the best adaptation, is when fans come together and they're trying to help make what other fans want to see, Good news is Wonder Woman 3 got canceled. I did hear that. Wonder Woman 3 got canned. But it makes sense if they're going to be redoing the DC universe, or the DC movie universe, I should say. If they're going to be trying to restart that by scratch, it makes sense to not continue any sequels for the current movies that you made. Yeah, everything gets put on full stop at that point, I've been watching incredibly cute videos about otters as pets. Those are cute, yes. I also get recommended otters all the time. Otters and like turtles eating fruit. Not that bad, Yeah, turtles are quite cute eating that fruit. It's guilty pleasure. Well then, guys. Thanks for chatting it up with me on this Friday. We are going to wrap it up, though. Getting a little tired. Don't have any water with me. Not much else to talk about in general. You know, like I said before, it would be a Christmas miracle if my files were recovered, but it's looking like that's not going to happen, which is sad. But, it is what it is. At the very least, this new comic will come out, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. And, I'll keep on busting out the videos as much as I can. I'll hold out for that new camera. Hopefully that'll be something. Oh crap. Thank you. My goodness. $100? That's a lot, dude. Not sure what that last comment about the graph is about, but here's a little penny in the tip jar. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little sprinkle. Sprinkle on the cake. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Yeah, I'll do what I can, guys. I gotta work with what I got, naturally. I'll explain the graph again. It's just something that I made as a goal of money to make off of my creative stuff, like my comics and YouTube that I've been doing. It's really a personal goal. It's not going to really. It's not a goal to buy something specific. It's just a personal goal that I set up for myself a while back. And people were asking, oh, do you still have the graph of the goal? You should put that up again. So I put it up in the background, but now I feel like all the new people who came onto this channel are just confused at what it is. Maybe I should make a smaller goal. Maybe that's the key there. But anyway, yeah, tip jar got stretched out. Completely broke the tip jar. There you go. Well, thank you guys for joining me anyways. I'll see you next week with a new video and another stream, hopefully. And yeah, I'll keep posting in the community tab too. So if you ever miss me, if you ever miss my videos, you can always look in the community tab and see some posts that I've been making. And I'll be talking about what I've been working on and what's been going on, so you can stay updated on Dannphan news even if you don't watch the streams. Although you're here, so, See you next time, guys, and good night. Bye!